Chodesh Tov Umevorach. So, as we continue our journey, we have discussed, this is just to recap a little bit, the importance of being good, and this is what is required to be a real leader. And by being good, and what I mean good, really good, not what's convenient for you, but what's genuinely good for the person, we tend, according to the Rambam, to blossom a potential that is called Moshe Rabbeinu inside of us, that grows and grows and grows, and that sense of leadership, of responsibility grows into us and empowers us. In order to take this to the next level, if we talk about the definition of something that is good, or the definition of good, the Rambam refers good to something that brings peace, harmony, love, unity amongst humanity. That's one aspect of the good. The second aspect of the good is the ability for a person to also be in peace, at peace with his spirituality, with God. So says the Rambam in many places that if you look at all the mitzvot, all the laws of the Torah, you will find most of them that are, if not all of them, says the Rambam, that are there to sharpen, shape, mold your essence in order to be good, to become good. Again, it's extremely important to understand that when you want to be good, when you want to do a good action, it is not on your terms. It is on the receiver's term. So the definition of what's good is what's good for the person, not what's good for you. So as we talk about the good traits, the good actions that the Torah refers to as mitzvot, that Chachamim, the Torah refers to as mitzvot, that the Rambam calls good, something good, being good. King Solomon, Shlomo HaMelech in Kohelet, says, "V'shibachti ani et hasimcha." Says, I praise what? Happiness. Now we're talking about Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, the wise of all men, the man that was blessed with every layer of knowledge, of wisdom, languages, understood the earth, understood astronomy, understood physics, understood philosophy, understood psychology. The greatest mind in the history of mankind, say Chachamim. This Shlomo HaMelech finds a universal common denominator that is applicable to every human being and brings all this together in a much larger perspective than just the human. And it's called Kohelet, from the word Kahal. Okay? Kahal means the community. So says Shlomo HaMelech, this big Shlomo, V'shibachti ani et hasimcha, I praise the simcha. Rashi says, what does it mean, I praise the simcha? He says, I praise those men that do good actions, fair actions, that are honest with themselves, that are empowering, enhancing the good around them, because they generate a tremendous simcha that cannot be copied or duplicated in any other action. Says Rashi something fantastic, that when you are good, when you're really doing something good, you become happy. It yields a happiness that cannot be duplicated by any other action. How amazing. So now, when we're talking and coming to build the motion that's in us, when we're coming to empower, to develop the leader that's in us, we are not only taking a responsibility, but a burden, but we're also creating and generating a dynamic of happiness, of satisfaction. This gets us to another tremendous side effect of collateral engagement. The Ramchal, in his book, 138 Gates of Wisdom, Kalah Pitche Chokhmah, writes the following: שבהתרבות השמחה הנשמה מתלהטת בכל כוחותיה, וכן האורות העליונים נעשים הכל חיבור אחד לצורך השכינה. Says the Ramchal something so beautiful. He says that when you are happy, when you build happiness, when you generate happiness, your neshama starts vibrating, shining, glowing just like a big torch. Bechol kochotea, with all its power. Meaning you're being infused with a tremendous power of your neshama. You make an action of good. Suddenly you open the gate of your souls that starts shining and showering you with a tremendous power. And says the Ramchal, at this point, there is a perfect alignment with all an osmosis of all your strength, of all your elements, of your kochot, that now align themselves to become a perfect pipeline for finally the light of God, the light of your true essence, that is a spark of God Himself, to start showering upon you and elevating you to levels you could never believe. We spoke about how being good yields and builds a person above and beyond his own expectations and his own dreams. Now we're understanding how it's happening. A person puts his ego, his selfishness aside. One action, one true action, one pure action, and goes and starts doing something good, understanding what the person needs, seeing how he can benefit that person, and goes out of his way to help that person, to do a good action, a pure good action. The trigger of this act yields, creates something amazing. So suddenly, says the Rashi, when you feel satisfaction, knowing you did something great, that satisfaction becomes happiness. That happiness starts shaking up inside of your essence all the dirt, all the negativity, all the layers of darkness, all the fears, all the doubts, all the sadness, all the deceptions. Shakes that like a lulav. It all falls down. And suddenly there is an earthquake, a spiritual earthquake that starts lining up your nefesh, your ruach, so your body, your emotions, your instinct, your intellect. And then all this takes all this and lines it up to your essence, your true spiritual essence. And then the shower of light, the shower of abundance comes. But no, it doesn't come only on you. It's showered all over the creation. This light, this moment can be a moment that will save people on the other side of the globe. This light that will give power to a depressed person that you don't even know. One good action that comes and is well prepared, and the thought process and the awareness is fully there to empower yourself with simcha. So you feel happy. You feel great. I did a good action. The action is finished. I can move on. No, Habibi, it's not done. Let me show you. Put the glasses of the spiritual world and start seeing all this beautiful light, all the health, all the cure, all the positivity, all the beracha, all the possibility to have children, of the possibility to see good and see it channel all over creation. This is what a leader is. And this is what it takes. But to keep on doing more and more good actions, we need to believe. We need to believe. Believe in ourselves. Believe in our potential. Believe in God. Believe in the system. That there's a beautiful system put in place for you to become a leader, to be successful, to be powerful, to be inspirational, to be uplifting. All this is in our hands. Every single action. This is what Shlomo HaMelech says. Me, the wisest man, find one common denominator amongst every single human being. The power of the simcha. Chachamim say, what is the simcha? What simcha we're talking about? We're talking about the simcha of the mitzvot, of the good deeds, the happiness you get when you do good deeds, when you do something good. Suddenly, being a leader is a burden that is filled with satisfaction, filled with happiness, that brings you up and up and up. And yes, you nurture and slowly, you take that beautiful journey and become that Moshe that Hashem is expecting us to be. How beautiful. How fantastic. So what is stopping us? What is refraining us from doing that? So we spoke about it last shiur. We introduced it again tonight. We're selfish. We are selfish. When we give tzedakah, it's because we want to appease our actions or our guilt. When we do something good, we want people to know about it. We want to be socially accepted. We want to be part of the crowd. If we go to a shiur or to go to a class, it became a trend today. Suddenly we start doing things not because it's the right thing to do, but because we need the kick. We need to feel it. We need the ego to get infused. Where does that come from? So we spoke about earlier what the Ramchal say. It says that when you're happy, suddenly there's a shaking. There's your lulav, your neshama is shaking. Your entire essence is shaking. And all the dirt is falling. All the dust, all the dirt is falling. In order for your elements, your spiritual elements, to start aligning themselves. Which means that until you're not happy, they're not aligned. They're broken. It's like a pipe that's not plugged together. What happens if you have liquid going in? It's going to spill all over the place. So you have to now become a plumber, a spiritual plumber. That's what we call a rabbi. He's a spiritual plumber, to see where the leak is and to see how to repair the pipeline. So we have two core elements of our spiritual essence that are embedded in us as a de facto nature that we believe dictate who we are. So here we go. Man is made of 5 layers, 5 spiritual layers. Layer number 1 is called the nefesh. The nefesh is the spiritual inflow of the body that keeps the body alive together. Then you have a higher level of spirituality that is called the ruach. The ruach means the instinct, the emotions. Above that, you have what we call the neshama, the soul. It is the ability to differentiate between the true and the false, between the truth and the good. Then above that, you have the haya, which is the pipeline that connects us to what? To the yehidah, which is the core essence of your soul. The spark of Adam HaRishon that belongs to you, or that you belong to. So, says the Ran, Rabbeinu Nissim, on what Chachamim said, Yud Gimel Shana Kadam Yetzer Hara LeYetzer HaTov. The Yetzer Hara, the bad inclination, the wickedness, the flaws that we carry in our lives have 13 years more than the good, than the intellect, than the ability to differentiate between the good and the bad, or to be more accurate, between the truth and the false. So says Rabbeinu Nissim, if you live your life on autopilot and you don't take control over your destiny, over your blessing, well, you will believe that you are the nefesh and the ruach. You are that tendency. You are those flaws. You are this weak person or this able person in certain areas. But this is not who you really are. This is not you. This is the baby that comes to the world and that grows up to the year 13. The problem, says the Rambam, is that a lot of us never get past the age 13. It's too comfortable. It's too natural. It's too satisfactory. I can go and hide behind what I think I know and shy away from the things I'm fearful or I don't think I can accomplish. Says Rabbeinu Nissim, this is the Yetzer Hara. Everything that stops you, everything that paralyzes you, everything that brings you down is nothing other than the Yetzer Hara. The bad. The bad. So now suddenly we have the bad that's weighing us down, keeping us heavy, paralyzed, depressed, confused, sad, fearful, embarrassed. And then comes the ability to do good. And then comes these actions, this potential, this little light that needs a little bit more fuel. And that fuel is just actions after action. Says the Rambam in the 8 chapters, in his introduction to Pirkei Avot, a big man is not made by one big action. You don't change with one big action. You change by repeating again and again and again and again small actions, but again and again and again, like a little drop of water that's falling consistently on a rock. We know the whole story of Rabbi Akiva. And he saw that beautiful rock, a huge rock, and there was a drop of water that made a hole after a period of time in that rock. So said Rabbi Akiva, if water can pierce a solid rock, wisdom, Torah, the fire of life, the Esh HaChaim, can't break this heaviness that's surrounding my heart. For sure it can. And that's when Rabbi Akiva decided to fight day after day. He fought his ego. He fought his shame. He fought his ignorance. He fought his social disabilities. He fought his fears. He fought his hate. But he became Rabbi Akiva. He became that man that became the source of life for all. For his rabbis, like we mentioned. Rabotai, we are in a beautiful journey. We are in a time where there is a tremendous potential and opportunity that is blessed and given upon us. Tremendous difficult times that everybody's facing. So it is our responsibility to fight that darkness, to fight not only outside but inside. We need to burn that corona that's been living in our heart, killing our potential, killing our hopes. We have to start believing in the good and start seeing the good in people, finding the good in everyone. As we mentioned many times, Am Yisrael never had one flag. We had 12 tribes with 12 tribes because we love the differences, because we embrace the differences. And we understand that what unites us is what differentiates us. The tolerance. We are no fools. We don't tolerate the bad. We tolerate the complementary benefits that is found in every single human being. It is time now, as we get closer to Shavuot, the receiving of the Torah, to start generating good. We deserve to be happy, not satisfied with a food or a nice deal or parnasa. It's all great. We need more. We thrive for more. We want to engage, to yield a simcha that are not just going to make us feel good, but that's going to shake us up. That's going to build us, strengthen us. We need to understand that the words of the Ramchal are not just words. When the Ramchal says that it brings a tremendous light upon the creation, and now you become a vessel for Hashem to reside, you need to understand what that means. It means that you are now one with the Creator. You are now one with Hashem. You are now one with the ecosystem. You are the ecosystem. You become a part of God. You become a part of the good. It means it dilutes totally all the negativity, erases it. It's a drop of water that now falls in a sea. You become a sea. Immense, powerful, deep, see. This is the potential that's awaiting us every single time we do a good action with the proper steps, with the proper emunah, with the proper awareness. Now, this being said, how much love does that shows us? Hashem expresses us towards us. How much trust God has in us. How much hope He has in our ability. How much patience He has when He sees where we are and where we could be. So let's not stay asleep. Let's continue to build. And let's find this moment of simcha. This moment of true happiness that comes from a true action of good. And let's start building. You have my word of honor that if you implement that process, not only you will be happy, not only you will become a good person or reveal how good of a person you really are, but suddenly you will become a magnet to your surrounding. People are going to be drawn towards you, not because you crave it, not because you want it, not because you go after it, the opposite. You're not going to want it. You're going to be so independent, so free from the social oppression of what it does under your ego. You'll be so free that you're not going to want all this, but it's just going to come. It's going to come because the light, when there's a drop of water, it wants to connect with another drop of water. And you're going to see how you're going to change people. Suddenly you're going to realize, hey, if I'm not me, who's going to be? I need to be this leader. I need to be this power, this generator of light. And then the snowball effects starts. But there's one thing you can't forget, is that you can never stop. Because this is not an autopilot that you press the button, oh, okay, I've done it for X amount of days, I've done it so many times, I'm good. No. There is no saturation, there is no capping to the definition of the word good. There's always somebody that's going to need your attention, your love, your care, your time, your money. There's always going to be someone that's going to need you. And you know what? You want to be on that side, on the side of the giver. But be humble and recognize that once you gave to someone, you also want to allow him to give you back so that you free him from a feeling of indebtedness. So that now he can be a giver too. That's when you really give, when you allow others to give too, and not just only take from what you give, but give by receiving. So I wish you all Shabbat Shalom. I love you all tremendously. I pray daily that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should continue to elevate us, should protect us, to send refuah shelema to all the Cholei Am Israel. כל החולים של העולם שהקדוש ברוך הוא ירפא אותם. Because of the Biyad Goel Tzedek, with the Haftaha, with the promise that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will cure everyone while He reveals Himself. And Yehi Ratzon, we should have a beautiful, beautiful, powerful, tasteful Shabbat. I love you, Shabbat. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we all get together for another shiur and find the koach to continue to grow and elevate ourselves and reveal our true potential, the potential that Hashem expects from us daily and in every action. I love you all. Shabbat Shalom umevorach.